Hey guys, it's Alex, and today I'm entering some unfamiliar territory. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the blower from the Corvette, my ZR1. For those of you that don't know, I'm sure you know if you watch the channel. If you don't, I have a 2009 ZR1, and it's been $799, but I haven't caught that on video. 8.0 in the 60 to 130. I haven't dynoed it. I haven't done anything to it, but it's time to start doing some mods to the car. I bought a 2.55 Kong pulley, a Lingenfelter idler, and according to everything I've read, that's pretty much as you can go without altering the fuel system on the car. It's already tuned, it's running great, so I just want to make more power, and it's gonna need tires. It's already at the cusp of needing tires stock. Well, stock mechanically, but it does have a tune on it. So what I'm gonna do today is rip the blower off, hopefully take the snout out, and see if I can get it shipped over to Greg Kong over in Pennsylvania, and then he can maybe machine it back, install the hub, make sure everything's kosher, because I don't have a press, I don't have a lathe, I do have access to it, but I just don't have time. If I didn't have a full-time job, I would be making a video every day on something with the cars, because that's how much work I have left on these cars. So anytime my job takes me away from this, it just sets back all of my progress on these cars. So I'm gonna have to make a decision pretty soon as to what I wanna do. If I wanna just throw content down your way and make money that way, or have a full-time gig and have very limited time to do anything else with the cars, and potentially have it thwart the growth of the channel and money. Don't get me wrong, this channel is making good money right now, so it's probably something to pay attention to be honest with you. So here you go. This is the LS9. Real straightforward from what I can tell. Everything I've read, there's not much to this cover. I hear that the most difficult bolts to get to are the ones in the back. So those are the ones I'm going to try to tackle first, just to see how much of a pain in the butt it is to do that. So I'm going to try to be really careful. I really like this car. It's a really nice car. It's clean. So I'm not going to be a dumbass with it. But according to everything I've read, that bolt and the bolt on the other side of that is the most difficult one to get to. A lot of people tell me to take this off. Other people say don't even bother. You can get at it with a ratchet wrench, but I'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, take all those lines off. So the Corvette's going to be down for a little while, and disconnect all the sensors and everything else. I've already looked up many videos, so I'll try to do a little time lapse. If not, the next thing you'll see is the blower removed from the car. I'll see if the snout can be taken off here, but if I need special tools, obviously I'll try to get those. Okay, already disconnected the battery. Now, time lapse time. Alright, so got the blower here. So what I have to do, I already unbolted all these guys. So I'm just gonna hit it here with a block of wood or something. I'll put a bolt on just so it doesn't go flying. And I'll hit it with a block of wood, hopefully it comes out. So thank you to the owner for being honest. He has that one piece coupler here. I'll leave that there because I don't know if that's something that, whatever, but everything looks to be in order. Just they used a heavy amount of sealant, which is not a bad thing. It's got a dowel here and a dowel here to locate, so that's good. I can just juice it up, hit it, get it on, get it located, and then you know that it's gonna be located properly. So dowel here, dowel here. So it's got the one piece. I don't know how tight that is on there, but this guy is gonna get shipped to Greg. This whole guy is gonna get shipped to Greg. Greg is gonna take this hub out, machine it back to the proper amount, then install his hub with his pulley on it, and then ship it back to me. Then all I have to do is put this guy back in, put the blower back in, use the bigger idler, and then I'll have basically 4 more pounds of boost with the stock belt and a bigger idler. And then get it on the dyno, try to get a wideband on it, do some tuning, and see how it goes. So for me it'll be about 2 weeks, but for you it'll be about 2 seconds. Right, about a week has passed since I took the blower off. I sent the snout to Greg and I just got it back. He shipped it in a snazzy box, really nice. So what I had him do, if you guys remember, was basically machine the snout back so that you can fit the aftermarket pulley. Okay, so here we go. So snout had to get machined back to clearance the hub so that we could install the bigger pulley. Okay, so basically what they do is, see right here, it's got some machining marks so that we can clearance the pulley. Now, the nice thing now, I can take this pulley off and put another pulley on theoretically, without taking anything apart. The previous pulley was a big monster sucker. Now let me show you the previous pulley, which is in this box, in this bag. They shipped it to me and they even sealed that up. It's funny, but okay. Oh my lord. Okay. So this is the stock pulley. Just to give you a visual representation of a before and after. That's what we're doing. Okay, we're going from this pulley to this pulley. Not a massive difference, but this is a 2.55 pound performance pulley. So supposedly it adds about 4 psi. Now we know these Corvettes make about 520 to 530 wheel bone stock, according to everything I've read on the internet. We know how that goes. So he made sure to name whose this is. Very nice of him. But yeah, I shipped it with the bypass and everything. I probably should not have, but didn't seem to affect it. So again, let's put this on the blower. Let's reassemble the blower. Let's see how everything runs. Get a wideband on it eventually. Get it on the dyno, see how much power it makes. I'm hoping it makes somewhere in the high 500s, low 600s with Sunoco 260 GT, because again, all my cars are going to run high octane. If they run pump gas, it'll run super low timing, but the goal is to see what the stock fuel system will tolerate with some higher octane fuel and a little more boost. So let's see what it does. Again, I'm going by stages. A lot of people hit me up and they said, Alex, why don't you just do it all in one shot? Like, why don't you just do everything? Port, export, cam, I'm like, what the hell are you gonna learn there? What are you gonna learn? I wanna do a tune, be gained a little bit, pulley, then long tubes, free flowing exhaust, all in one shot, with corset gaze, of course. And then I wanna do a cam. Now, if I'm doing the cam, should I keep the head stock? I don't know. That's kind of something I'm gonna have to cross that bridge when I get to it, but enough talking. Let's get this guy put on. We'll talk about that once it's on the dyno. Okay, the only thing I'm a little weird on is the vacuum line routing. I took pictures and put it all together, but you know how it is when you put it all together, you go, you sure that's how it goes? It looks a little suspect. So this guy goes to there. This guy, based on all the photos I have, go to the bypass. This long one goes all the way clear across the other side over here somewhere. So yeah, so that guy, right? So that, because it's the longest one, it goes to here, and then this short one goes to the back side because it's curved a certain way. That's the only one that that's the only, if I have any hesitation, it's that. But I mean, I guess time will tell. Everything went pretty straightforward. I'm gonna have to bleed the system here, which is really nice that they have a bleed and air bleed at the top of the intercooler air to water system. So yeah, I'm gonna go over everything again, give it a start, like legit first time start, not this BS where they've run it for about 3 hours and checked everything and then they tell you it's the first start. We're gonna try to start it first time and see what happens. But I'll do some reading. I'll get the N gauge out and monitor temps. Really nice to hear it again. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it's been almost a month because took snout off, shipped it to Greg. Greg didn't take long. It was just me having the time to actually do the work was taking long. So fan's moving good. All right, I'll get it out in the sun. 2.55 pulley's doing its thing. Lined up nicely. Thank you, Greg. So I guess what's left is putting air in the tires, get the N gauge, make sure coolant, temp, everything is good. Take it for a drive, get some gas in it, check the air tires. Tires I'm sure have deflated after sitting a little bit. And we'll see. I'm not gonna go watt for a long time, but I'm definitely gonna see how much of a difference that pulley makes. Okay, it might not seem like much to you guys, but that's my phone. This is another phone I have. This is that Shelby phone that was given to me. This is the N gauge. This is a GoPro. It might not seem like much to you guys, but this is a lot of work to get all this figured out on the car with a microphone so that I am heard as clear as possible. So let's go out on the road and test this Corvette, get some data, get some video. So in terms of drivability, it's kind of hard to beat. Hopefully the window doesn't buff it too much on the sound. But the power delivery is super smooth, and that's one thing I've always noticed on this car, that the power delivery is like ridiculously smooth. It sees 12 pounds by 3,500 RPMs. I haven't rung it out yet. I have a little spot here where I might be able to get on it. It scoots. It's a hot day today, so if it sees 14 on a cool, dense air day, that would make sense. But this thing, absolutely. Let me shut off traction control totally. And it's something else. That 2.55 pulley, it's something else. Really. It's legitimately quick. Not quick for, but legitimately quick. I can't wait for the days that we get in the 70s or 60s, and I can give you guys some like legit bonsai runs. And again, this is on pump gas. This is not on race gas anymore. It's on pump gas. It's still seeing good timing. I'm gonna see what it's seeing for timing. I think I could data log this and watch it on. I'm gonna see if I could data log this. Ooh, exit gauges, diagnostics, data logging. But it's got Ford PIDs. It's generic. So let's see if it does see any signals on like a regular configuration, as if you were to do it with a Mustang. RPM, no, it's not. 0 out of 42 signals. Okay, so what I have to do is definitely get a configuration file, like a generic Chevy configuration file on this thing, and see if I can data log and look at it on SCT. And I think that'd be really cool to see it like I would see it on Ford. I think I saw in our system, actually, I think I have my stuff here. I'll go wash it real quick, give you a video of that, because why not? Again, this is the test drive. And then if everything looks good, we'll go ahead and see if we can log it that way. And if I can log it that way, when it comes to dynoing, I don't have to do any dumb shit with the dyno. I can just log it with an N-gauge, and that would be super, super sweet. Fuck! I didn't want to get out and wash it myself. So, and there's like 500 beaners over there washing their cars. So I'm gonna make sure I just let the machine do it for me. Fuck all that. Okay, we're here on the dyno with the ZR1, and she sure has a fat ass. So pretty much the width of the dyno is going to be the width of the extreme width of the Corvette. I'm going to have to bring it over maybe about 2 inches, and it should be pretty centered, because if I center it with this guy, theoretically should be centered here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to bring it up, but we all know the issue with these Corvettes is the lip. So I'm going to incrementally bring it back, check the height of the lip, because the higher it gets up in the back, the closer this gets, and I don't want to scrape it. It's a very, very expensive piece, so I'm not looking to damage that. So I'm going to bring it over 2 inches and see how close this guy gets to the ground, get some 2x4s on it, get it up off the ground, and hopefully I can get it on the dyno to do a couple of things. First of all, get a wideband on it. I have the ZT2 wideband. I'm going to see if that connects to the dyno. If it doesn't connect to the dyno, I'll see if I can jerry-rig it for now to read proper air fuel data on the N-gauge. That's right there. And we'll see how all that goes. I don't know, it looks pretty close. I want to get the shot. Okay, we're pretty centered on the dyno, sort of. I'll have to steer it to the right a little bit. Okay, I don't know. If I can get a board long enough, that'd be awesome, but I don't think I can find a 2x4 long enough. Let me back it up a little more. I'm not supposed to do it. Okay, right there is where I'm going to have to start to worry, because I don't want to go any further. I think it's going to stick. So let me work on getting some 2x4s. Okay, my biggest concern is this, that once you go over that, this part will go up and hit something. So I guess I won't really know until the footage, because I'm doing this thing by myself, so I'm gonna try to get all the shot in one to see if the lip and the board do anything fun. We made it. I think that's a success. I just have to steer it to the right a little bit, but man, I'm going to review the footage, make sure that the board didn't hit anything weird, but I didn't hear anything funky, so I'll leave it that exact same setup right there to offload it from the dyno. Now we'll see if the dyno brake holds. Perfect. Freaking perfect. Maybe you guys don't understand, and maybe you guys made fun of the fact that I was having trouble loading the other cars in the dyno, but that's how it should work if the brakes are operating properly. So that's what I did by having Jake get me the pads. I started the process, he finished it the next day because we were doing some favors for each other. So there you go. A proper dyno brake does not need any fancy stuff to load on the dyno. You just need a properly working brake. All right, I gotta see where to tie this guy down to. I'll look up some stuff online, but it doesn't look like a big deal because it looks similar to a S550 IRS situation, but I'll do some double checking online to make sure I'm not grabbing it from the wrong spot. Okay, what I'm going to do first is kind of figure out what's what. This is a ZT2 box. This is basically what you would buy if you're a peasant GT500 or Cobra owner, and this is a great way to analog in a wideband signal to your vehicle and have it go directly to the N gauge via this phone cable, basically. But if I can't get this to work, I want to see if this wideband right here plugs into the dyno wideband. Let me see this guy. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I don't think so. Looks close. Let's see. Definitely not. Okay, I thought it would fit because it looked eerily familiar. No. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So I thought I could analog it into the dyno itself, but it'll have to go on the N gauge, and I'll upload a Chevy specific configuration. So let's get under the car, get the wideband in there. I'm gonna have to give it power. Let me see. So this is also for boost, but I already have boost. I don't need this. It already has an extra sensor. So all I need is battery ground. Okay, battery ground. The hell? Okay, so how does it get power? The N gauge? I think the N gauge pumps up a 5-volt signal I'll look into the directions on their website and see how it all goes. Okay, interesting. So I am under the ZR1, and you can definitely tell why these cars make pretty good power on their own. So very good size exhaust system. I would say it's 3-inch. It's got a factory X pipe. The factory catalytic converters are mated to some really big piping. This is much bigger than Mustang stuff, obviously. Supercharged 6.2, so it must be robust, but I've never been underneath the ZR1, and this exhaust is legit. This is something like you would see a Cook's Magnaflow or something like that. Very robust, clamped on too, so you can actually remove the cap back and upgrade the X pipe. Honestly, it would just be long tubes. You keep that alone, and maybe some Corsa Gays out back, but otherwise I really don't see any way of upgrading this exhaust. And you can see this plate here is ridiculously close to the exhaust, and I think that's what causes all the heat inside the engine bay, this plate. So theoretically you could take this off and put some Dynomat underneath or some kind of thermal protection, but honestly I'm not gonna go too crazy because this car is not going to be a daily driver. Now, as for the O2s, here they are. Here's the secondary O2 right there, and there is the primary O2 pre-cat. Obviously, if you're going to put a wideband in, you don't want it pre-cat. You want it post-cat. You might get a light for like a circuit code or something, but I'm not planning on unplugging it. I'm planning on simply dangling it, like just undoing it and let it dangle. Hail. But I don't know if that's going to cause any weird signals or signs or whatever. So that's going to be really interesting. But we'll see what it does. We'll see. I'll do some reading. I'm gonna let the car cool down because it's hot, so I'm gonna let it cool down. But pretty interesting stuff that's going on down here. Just never been underneath a ZR1. For those Mustang guys that follow the channel, now you can understand why these cars are respected. They're built well, really well, so you can't really you can criticize it all you want. There's a reason I wanted a ZR1, because it pretty much comes ready to go. You just have to do a couple of bolt-ons and she's pretty lethal. So okay, let me do some research quick, and we'll see about getting those O2s off. Hopefully they come off easy. It doesn't look like it but we'll see how all that goes. Okay, I think I finally got it. So get this shot. Get this shot. Let me see. Yep, get this shot. Okay, that's just for sound. And then I'm gonna come over here and make sure this guy's hitting. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, beautiful. Everything's looking good. All right, everything is configured. So let's make a hit to 5,000. Actually, yeah, 5,000. That's what I do to GT500, guys. Oh, look at the wideband. Wideband's working. Look at that. Yes, sir. It's working. I think. I hope. And this guy is good. Okay, let's get her up. Brakes are working. Everything's working. Down to 2,000. All right. Make a hit to 5,000, and we'll see how it goes. Let's type in ZR1. Beautiful. Let's see what this pig made. Ooh, that's soft shit. 600 torque, 540. Let me review the video to see what air fuel is doing. Okay, here's my second attempt at dynoing this guy. So I looked up the tune. It's commanding 1.21 EQ ratio, which is desired lambda at watt, basically. And fuel, power enriched gas, 1.21, so it's 11 to 5 if you do the calculation. Where did I not have it here? I thought I had the calculator open. But anyway, it's 1.21 divided by the stoic, so 14.7 or 14.0 really. So it's 11 to 5 around there. So I'm going to stare down the AFR situation on this hit and see how it goes. Let me get it up to proper RPM. Oops. I always do that. Okay, so I'm not really going to worry about this guy. I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm just going to stare this guy down the whole time. I'm just going to put the phone here and I'll pay attention to the RPM the whole time. So we'll go from there. There we go. Still on the lean side. That dyno brake works a little too well. It's knocking the rust off of this sucker. So let's see what it made there. So it's a little lean. Yeah, it's a little on the lean side. So we're going to add some fuel to her and see how it goes. 601 torque, 570. I'll take a look at the data log in terms of spark back on the video and go from there. Okay, from what I can tell, the IAT function really starts to crank timing away at 120 degrees, like really aggressively. I don't really want to hammer that, but I did lessen the effect of it pulling spark out because of IAT. IAT being 120 something is not a big deal, especially in Florida. But obviously on these cars, they made sure to make sure you pull timing. I saw a peak of 18 degrees and this car has seen 22 degrees on pump gas, 9 to 1 compression, 9 to 5, whatever it is. So I'm gonna I took like 2 degrees added to the subtractor. So it's kind of not how it works. It's a function that removes timing based on IAT. So I made it a little less aggressive, nothing crazy, and I added more fuel to the calibration. So we'll see if the air fuel comes back and if the timing comes back. And if so, we should be able to make maybe 10, 12 more horse. I'm not really expecting 600 out of this setup based on it having a stock exhaust and everything. So we'll see how it goes with my primitive tuning skill. Okay. 5 bands rating. Pay attention. I wasn't too aggressive, so we'll see how it goes. the changes I made a difference. It was starting to get down to 11.5 air fuel ratio, so I got to be a little more aggressive with the fueling for safety. So I'm gonna hammer it a little bit just to make sure that fueling is at 11.5 from the tip forward. I don't want it to enter severe cap protection, and as you saw, the IATs were high, so I'm gonna let this sucker cool the F down for a long time to make sure that the car is happy. Then I'm gonna make one more pull. Again, more fuel. The spark was fine. You saw the spark was not interrupting as much. I'm not willing to go 25 degrees with this thing. That doesn't make sense to me. It made 576, 601. Those are the peak. So 576, 601. Oh, I'm sorry, 576, 595. So peak torque was in the previous run. 600 torque is nothing to sneeze at. I'm not going to get 600 wheel out of this guy from just a pulley change, but right here is the difference. Right here where the IAT started to interrupt, you see that the gains are about 10 horse across the board. Okay, yep, it seems to be exactly 10 horse across the board, and then at the peak they meet up and say, what's up, buddy, how you doing? So you can see that there is a sizable difference in the tune changes I made. So I'm hoping to give it a little bit more fuel, and it'll be in the 11.5 range. But I'm happy that I'm tuning my own car and the changes are taking place, so that's very good. Spark is good. Let me just shove a little more fuel in her, and then let it cool down because I've been hammering it, and we'll see if we can get that number a little better. I'm gonna try to get IAT as low as 100 and make a pull there, cool, because it's cooking. So I'm gonna do a change, go ahead and make a pull. Once it's cool, I'm gonna open the hood, make sure you cool the car down completely, make a fueling change, keep spark the same, and see how it all goes. Okay, we're gonna do everything to try to cool this guy down. I was testing with the hood closed because I'm a good tuner like that, but I think it's time to test with the ever hated hood open. I want to get everything down. I don't know if this is causing any heat. It's not good, can't imagine, but so I'm gonna just sit here for a while and admire the car. I'll be honest with you, it's one of those things where when you do the work, it does change things. You know, it's not a big deal to change the pulley, but you know, I've never messed with this platform, so I'm totally foreign to it. So it feels good. I'm gonna be honest with you, it feels really good, and something that almost nobody ever gets to do is tune it themselves. I've had some guidance, but not anything to make me think I'm some kind of expert. But people like Justin White, Kong, Rami, Lund, they've all chimed in, but no one has actually done the actual adjustments on the dyno. This is the first time it's on the dyno. So if theoretically this car makes 530 to 540 rear wheel horsepower factory, well, a pulley change right now is up 39 horsepower to the rear wheel. Okay, so that's pretty darn good. After this, we're gonna get used to it, drive it, have some fun, but exhaust is going to be the next mod. Absolutely, we're going to keep trucking with the mod. So long tube headers, free flowing, Corsa Gaze, probably going to end up being like $3,000 to $4,000 by the time it's all said and done, maybe more. But I want this car to do really well, and I want to show you guys what a ZR1 is capable of. I understand the horsepower numbers aren't astronomical like Coyote with 10 psi, but this car is super light, so those powers transfer much better than on a 3,800 pound Mustang. He's coming in, saying hello. What's wrong with those rotors? They're spinning really slow. Anyway, all right, let's cool her down, see how it goes. multiple attempts to clean up fueling. It seems like my third run was my best run. 540, came in with 540, but that was a very short run. Then it was 570, got to 576 on the green run, so 576, 595. Then on this next tune, it made 570 with high IAT, but 603 torque. So the most we can get out of it today was 576 for a peak horsepower number. 603, that is phenomenal. 603 torque, and that's where this car shines, to be honest with you. This number will go up once we open up the exhaust and a cam comes into play. I think a cam and exhaust upgrades is worth 600 all day. And again, that's fine on pump gas. Again, still with the stock 2.3 stock cold air. Eventually we can do the snout upgrade, this and this and that. The goal at the end of the day is going to be close to the 800 range, but I think it's going to require some heads, cam, porting and all that stuff, and of course ethanol. Oh, the way I see it, it's a success. These cars, depending on who you talk to, stock dyno anywhere between 530 and 550. Let's just say that. Let's be on the high range. Well, we gained 26 horsepower. On the low end, if it dynoed 530 stock, we gained 46, almost 50 rear wheel horsepower. I was really trying to squeeze that 580 number, but then I'm just going to chase a number that might just not be there today on this dyno on this day. So the next thing is get a new fresh set of spark plugs in her, enjoy the car for a little while with the tune that it's on, because it's not, I wouldn't say it's conservative, but I'd say it's pretty robust for what it is. Rolls the hell out. It does roll well on a lightweight car, and I'm really happy I was able to dyno the car, put the pulley on, do all the work myself, and do some tuning. Now I'm sure some LS tuner out there is going to say, you fucked up, you did this, you should have ran it at 12.5, you can run it way lean. I'm sorry, I go by certain guidelines, and in the mid 11s, these cars stock command like 11.2 air fuel ratio with cap protection on top of that. So I leaned it out a little bit to 11.5 at the higher RPMs. I'm not commanding any more than 22 degrees with good fuel, and it's seeing no more than 12 psi. It's not seeing 13 or 14 psi yet. Maybe once the weather gets better, because it is 90 today. Once the weather gets a little better, then maybe we'll see better numbers. But honestly, I'm just using this as a tool to tune my car, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. It rolls out, it moves really well, 600 torque, 576 wheel. I mean, that's great. Now, I did put up a poll, and whoever got closest to the horsepower number will get a little gift. So once the video uploads, I'll announce on the next live who won the little gift packet. It's going to be probably shirts, cookies, and maybe a gift card, just so that you can get a little something for guessing right. If you guess right on the money, you know your Corvettes. I've seen a lot of the guesses so far, and they're well into the 600s, and I don't know, maybe on other dynos, but this dyno is the truth. This dyno does not lie. All right, guys, I'm going to do a little outside video, get you some revs to finish up the video, because this thing sounds real good. I'm going to go up and down the gears for you guys, just so you guys can hear some sights and sounds, and we'll end the video there. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later. Stay tuned for some sound clips. Huh?